Hello, YouTube world. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, y'all. Hey, um, I've been trying to test out being able to share my screen for a few days, um, but I've been having to push it back because of things coming up. Also, just trying to respect other people. Most of the heavy hitters that go live, because I know we share some of the same supporters, but I just can't seem to get fit in, because it's just too many, um, and they're constantly going live. So um, I just say, let me just go ahead and jump on in, because I wanted to really try to, one of my content creator sisters showed me how to finally share my screen. So, um, so I just wanted to jump on and try it, y'all, so that I can get better at this. Still haven't figured out how to put that picture in that A though. Don't y'all talk about me. But yeah, I just wanted to give it a try just to see. I wanted to do it on a interview that I saw on Fox with TMZ Presents, where Harvey did an interview with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. Um, I thought the interview was pretty interesting, and it kind of parallel to just everyday situations with not only just the two celebrities, but with life in general with people. I just thought it was pretty interesting just to see how um, they both experienced the same thing growing up as kids, um, but have a different outlook on it. They experienced the same troubled childhood, from their parents, but they both looked at it different. Like one see it being um, strengthening who they are today or making them the person they are today, and the other one doesn't feel that way. Um, he feels that it was his destiny to do it anyway, regardless. You know how they say, we try to, most people that if you had a certain trouble upbringing, whether it was abusive childhood, where you had abusive parents or you had parents that was addicted to alcohol or drugs, those kind of households, if they're not really functional addicts, because of course I had a husband that was a functional addict. Like what the people saw in public wasn't what I experienced inside the home. Um, he was definitely a character of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, for sure. But he was able to function throughout life, and at work in a professional work setting, without people knowing that he was a drug addict. And as well as an abuser. But that shows you how people can mask what's really going on in their household. But these two actors are very prominent actors, very known. They've been around since like the 70s. Um, and to just hear their stories. I mean, we saw what we saw, in certain instances where, when they both went through their public marriage breakups, because I think, you know, Sylvester Stallone was married to Bridget, can't remember her last name, Nelson, Bridget Nelson, who was a known actress back in, the early 80s. She was very popular, very beautiful as well. She was a supermodel turned actress. They were married, and then so when their divorce happened, that was public. Then you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was married to Maria. I don't want to chop up her name, so I'm not even going to try to say her last name, but she was the niece to John F. Kennedy, the past president. So they had a real public divorce that was bad because, he committed adultery, in that marriage, of course, with the housekeeper. Isn't that something? Like, that's why you kind of have to watch, who you bring in your home for sure. And so, yeah, she was working for them for over 20 some years, and she was married and everything, but she was having this affair with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then she, conceived the child. And it was crazy because she was pregnant at the same time as his wife, as Maria was pregnant. So the babies, I think, are like weeks apart from each other or months apart from each other or something like that. They're very close in age, like a month or a couple of weeks in age. So that was pretty, wow. I felt really bad for her, but he was used to having open marriages, open relationships. He wasn't really a person that wanted to commit to one marriage, or one relationship. So, and he had, succeeded in that in his previous relationship and even in one of his marriages. But I don't think Maria or Marie had agreed to that. So she wasn't, privy to him having those second marital affairs. So I believe it like his second marriage. Well, yeah, I think it was either his first marriage or his second marriage where he actually, whenever they would come back together in their home, like I think they lived in LA or something, and he was in another part of the states. Where he would, well, actually, when he would go and shoot movies, actually, I think that he would have extramarital affairs. But when he came back to, Los Angeles, he would, that wouldn't happen. He would strictly be with the wife. But they agreed that, whenever they was apart, they were able to, seek, you know, a good time through someone else. So. But a lot of people do that. Each his own. I don't like sharing, so I don't play that. you know, I don't play that. Playing the field stuff. If that's something you want to do, I feel that you shouldn't get in a relationship unless it's agreed upon. Like I say, if you get in a relationship, you want to start a relationship with someone, and that's some you guys discussed and y'all want to. Um, you know, do that type of thing, then I think that that's okay. But if you get into a relationship to where, this is your significant other or this is your, spouse, I don't think I don't think you should get in a relationship if that's something you want to do. Because sometimes that's just people nature. They want to, have their cake and eat it too. Um, I just don't like it. Never did. Don't play it. So hey, but each is on. But I just thought that the interview was interesting because I don't know if you see my title of where, rivalry turned friendship, because at first they were rivals. They competed against each other. They both was action figure actors, and you know they competed when it came to roles and all that, and they talked about how if Sylvester would do a role where he killed, 30 people, Arnold Schwarzenegger next role, he would kill 31 people. He would, they both would try to, up one on each other, and they just had, I think it was kind of a light but tumultuous type of rival with each other. But they grew to respect each other in these later part of the years. And they'll talk about that in the interview. Now, but I'm not for sure. I'm gonna try it and I'm gonna see what YouTube says if they, ban it or whatever. But I'm gonna share my screen. because I'm not sure if I can play it because it was on Fox TV and it was presented by TMZ Harvey. So I'm not for sure, but I'm just gonna try it, and that way I'll know what I can do because I really don't have a lot of help in this YouTube sector of learning. So it's kind of like trial and error. Like now, I think I'm talking to myself, so people will catch the replay, which is fine. So I just really wanted to just jump on and just test it out, and also to just just parallel of how you can be enemies today, friends tomorrow. I guess too, it based on how severe the situation was. I think I talked about that a couple of lives back. You would have to do a certain thing to me to really like turn real cold on a person. But even with it not being so severe, you will only cross me twice. I'm gonna give you that first one, but that second one, that's it. I don't care. It can be minute or it can be severe, but I'm not gonna give you too many chances to cross me or disrespect me. That's just not gonna happen. I don't tolerate it at all from no form. Family, friends. I just don't. And so I respect myself, and I expect to receive respect. So I just don't allow it. So I'm going to test this out, y'all. Let me remember what my sis told me to do. I'm trying to remember what she said to click on to share my screen. Hold on, y'all. Okay, there we go. Okay, girl. Share screen. Now, this is the interview, y'all.
They were out to get each other.
I mean, as soon as I saw him, it was like, bang. Two alphas hitting.
At first, it was all about the Benjamins.
Every time I read this, I just got the new record number, $10 million. Son of a bitch.
And then the rivalry just got insane.
We ended up kind of like you killed 28 people in the movie. I killed 32.
I got to top that.
For the first time, sit down together and confess things each did to torpedo the other.
You talked to my director?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Over time, they bonded and became brothers in arms.
I wish I could be as passionate about things as he is.
Is that true?
Really? Are you kidding me?
What's Arnold's legacy? He came, he saw, he conquered.
Two men who became the biggest action heroes of all time.
Yes, it's just.
I think that was so powerful of what Stallone said about Arnold Schwarzenegger. He came, he conquered. That is so powerful. To a powerful view. So yeah, I don't know. I just, maybe it's just me, but I thought the interview, to see two people that we all, supported. We saw the movies. We rented their movies. Some had them on DVDs and VHS tapes and stuff. So to just see it, because and they're very total opposite of each other. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger is very, to me, he had more of a nonchalant, arrogant type of personality. Stallone always appeared to me as laid back, kind of settled type of person. And I'm sure, you know, no one is perfect, but he had his flaws, I'm sure, you know, because he has 2 sets of kids. I think he lost a couple of kids. I think he lost a son or two. One of his sons he lost from heart issues. No, I think he lost one son, and then he one of his sons was born with autism. So yeah, so you know, he dealt with, you know, losing the child and dealing with a child with disabilities. So yeah, so he's pretty cool, and I love the show that he had with his family. He's a pretty cool guy. But yeah, so you know, we all know that Arnold Schwarzenegger came out of the acting arena and became California's governor. So yeah, they all, you know, played a significant role in life. So yeah, so let me play it back. Oh shoot, what did I do, y'all?
Shirt maker makes a shirt that has it poured underneath like diapers.
Magic's in the details, pal.
TMZ presents Arnold and Sly, rivals, friends, icons. The way I see this is that both of you were kind of improbable movie stars, and yet you conquered Hollywood. You rose to the top of the mountain. There were only 2 of you at the top of the mountain. So why did each of you feel the need to push the other off the mountain?
I guess for that very reason, there's not that much room up there. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be on the point. I think it's something you're born with. I would go out for parts I knew I was wrong for, but I wanted them so bad. And I would tell the producer, director, I said, I know I'm half the size, you want this and that, but I'll destroy this guy. And when he came along, I went, okay, finally, I have something that will really motivate me, because he is, dare I say it, competition, a threat, whatever words you want to use. And I mean, as soon as I saw him, it was like, bang, 2 alphas hitting.
And I must say that they both still some handsome looking older guys now. They both were handsome back in their younger days, and they're both handsome now. I just wanted to throw that in there because they're like in their 70s now. So, and they still look good. They still look good.
Yeah, if we walked into a party, we'd be like staring at each other for a few seconds, and then I gotta get that guy. I don't know. He didn't do anything wrong, but he will.
The one that started this whole thing was me. By opening up my mouth, saying stupid things, being competitive.
You come around here, you want to move in here with me? Come on here, it's a nice house.
Rocky came out, and I was like blown away by his acting and by the
right,
movie.
right.
And then after that, we were at the Golden Globes. And we both won. And so there was plenty of room for everybody.
But that's not the way I understand this. I thought you, when Rocky won Best Picture,
Yes,
you threw a bowl of flowers
I
at him.
absolutely did. He was sitting across from me, and I'm going, he won Best Newcomer. I go, no offense, but Rocky was a pretty good debut. And he's looking very proud of himself. And I didn't think we were going to win Best Picture.
Rocky!
We win, and I lost it. I literally went and picked up this entire bouquet of flowers and tossed them straight up in the air, sort of aiming towards his side of the table. And it all comes down. He's just sitting there with the same kind of, like, okay, he just threw down the gauntlet kind of a thing. Here we go.
You remember that?
I remember the incident, but it was not yet kind of like the point where I said, okay, this is now the beginning of a battle. You know, it just developed then from then on. Now I had to chase him. And then he did Rocky 2 and then Rocky 3. And then he did all those movies and it just kept going up and up. And I made, my salary was kind of like 10% of his. When he got now $2 million, I got $200,000.
I think you were overpaid, but don't say anything.
When he made $5 million, I got the $500,000. So it was like I had to kind of like chase behind him. I said, this has to stop. And every time I read this, Sly just got a new record number, $10 million. No actor,
remember that?
yeah, no actor ever got 10 million. Not even Marlon Brando got $10 million. And I said to myself, son of a bitch. So I didn't boycott his movies or anything like this. I loved, when he did Rambo. I loved when he did Rocky.
You
I
realize
loved
this is all news to me, but keep going.
I had to kind of catch up to that, right? So it gave me kind of a motivation. And this is what the whole thing was about. It became then very, very competitive, the whole thing.
I get what you're saying, that there were two of you and then far below other people. But in a way, were you guys a little bit in different lanes? Your movies were fantastical. They were almost science fiction-like.
Your clothes. Give them to me, now.
And you were more grounded in reality.
You ain't doing me no favors. You're embarrassing me in front of everybody. You make me look bad in front of your sister. See the cigar? Or stick it in your ear. Now, don't do these things to me.
So did you still see yourselves like in the same lane? Or wasn't there kind of a separation in what you were doing, at least at the beginning?
I've always thought it was a big time separation. For example, he was perfect for Terminator. I would never have been chosen for, you don't have crooked mouth, droopy eyes. If you're building something so technical and like precise, playing a robot, Arnold has the features, the chisel, the hair, the look. So he was always a different kind of action guy, I think. He was more of a precise, kind of a perfectionist. I was more freeform and more grounded, like you say. And I had to deal with what I had with. I didn't have his body, so I dealt more movements and being more stealth, more cat-like.
Don't push it. Don't push it. I'll give you a warning. You won't believe.
And he was more powerful, like. Yet we achieved the same goal.
Absolutely. I think that you end up doing the things that you can do, and also the things that people are buying in on. They did Terminator, which was a science fiction character.
Right.
Yeah, you can't have a machine that slurs. It doesn't work.
And then with Total Recall and with all of those movies, these were all, or in Running Man, these were all kind of like science fiction or futuristic type of movies. Yes, he was on a different track than I was, but still it was an end where we ended up kind of like, well, you killed 28 people in the movie. I killed 32.
I got to top that.
So body count mattered.
So it was now the
mattered.
body count. And then it was kind of like, well, what was your body fat? Well, I was down to 7%, so I said. And I said, I was down to 10%. So it became a competition with the body. And then there was kind of like, then he started using machine guns that were kind of like huge machine guns. I was running after him. He was not running after me. So I said, when we did Predator, I said, you got to get a machine gun that is normally mounted on a tank or on a helicopter. When Arnold, you can never hold it. I said, we figure out a way. I said, don't worry about it. I got to have a bigger gun, a bigger machine gun than Sly used in Rambo. So this is how it went. So then he killed, 80 people that I had to kill 87 people.
And you got sucked into it too, because the difference between Rambo 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, you got
Body
bigger
weight,
guns, more body count, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Franco Columbo, my training partner,
Right.
was his trainer for Rambo.
And they shared, they both shared the same trainer. Isn't that something? They had the same trainer. And so a lot of times the trainer had to play mediator to kind of see who was best for the role for whatever role that came up. So that was pretty interesting as well. So yeah, they was really, really competing. I never thought about it, but I guess I'm not shocked about it. That those two have probably been, you know, rivals. Back then, when you're watching the movies, you don't really even think about that, but now I can see and understand it. But yeah.
Throw it.
I got to tell you about Franco, man. This guy here, he was very eccentric. Would you say?
Yeah.
And we're working out. He goes, let's have a competition for bench press. I said, you won. He goes, no, come anyway. I said, oh, man. So I go down, and it's maybe only 200, and I'm just warming up. I hear, pow. I go, ah. And I fall on the floor, and I'm going, ah. And then Franco goes, let me see. And he jams his fingers. I've torn my pec off the bone. I mean, bad. I could hear it go rip. And he's jamming his fingers in. And and I think I'm going to black out. So I go home. I feel like my career is over. I'm supposed to start Rocky 2, directed everything in a month and a half. And I said, you know, I got to have this thing sewn up. And I said, you know, and here's the difference. And he would have done the same thing. I can't use this arm. So I'll change it in Rocky. He'll fight right-handed.
What's a McCrispy? First of all, lower your voice.
Commercial.
We wouldn't want anyone knowing you still haven't had McDonald's crispy, juicy, tender chicken
I don't know how to do that. How to skip past them. I guess once I learn how to break up the video.
At Metro, get a new
I
iPhone
will
12
be
with
able
5G.
to,
Take amazing
do that.
pictures and share instantly.
Nada yada yada nada yada yada nada
I'm
yada
not
yada nada
familiar
yada yada.
You don't take yada yada in life like knockoff sneakers.
how to do
Don't
that.
take yada yada from your
Hey,
wireless
Ashley D,
provider.
thanks for stopping in.
Join
sis.
Metro and get a new iPhone 12
Yeah,
with
I
5G
know
for
you
only
was live,
$99.99 with no contracts,
wasn't,
no activation fees,
I
and
don't
nada
want to
yada
keep pushing
yada.
this
Only
thing
at Metro.
back because I really wanted to test it out. To see.
Movie. I didn't talk him
I knew
into
what I
because I
was
never
doing.
talked to him about it.
So,
But
yeah,
it was
I
very
just
clear
wanted to
that
show
his
your cat some
agent
love.
was
Well.
telling my agent, look,
All right, y'all, hit it
Sly
back.
is interested in doing it, but I don't know if it's the right thing for him. Let me know what you guys are thinking. And then my agent said, well, you know, Arnold really loves it. I think it's fantastic. So then I called Roger Spottiswoode, who was the director, who just did the James Bond movie.
Oh, my.
Y'all,
And so
I
he
wanna
was kind of
kinda
the hot
skip to the part
director.
where they talked
So he was the
about
right guy to go
their
with.
You know this?
childhood.
No
So anyway,
So let
so
me
he's
see.
burden to lay on anyone.
I think that what drove me was I had such a need to create my own world. I had to get out of that misery at home.
What's your favorite Schwarzenegger movie?
Terminator 2 is like perfect film.
Get down.
Would you agree? It's like everything about it was just spot on. It had new CGI, had new inventives, had a good villain. I think he really.
And right there, even though they were rivals, they still appreciated each other's work. They still appreciated. They even had their favorite movie of each one. So you can have you can compete and be a competitor in a field with somebody and still give them their credit. You know, not be such a total hater. You don't have to be a total hater of someone, and give them their props. You know, overlook, you know, your the competition of it all. And, you know, if a person is good at what they do, give them their credit. You know, that's how I am. You know, I don't have to necessarily like you or, you know, even, you know, rock with you, but I'm gonna give you your credit. I'm gonna give you your flowers. You know, if you're good at what you do, I'm gonna say that. If you're crap at what you do, I'm gonna say that too, you know. So I just feel that, you know, we as a people can take a note out of this book, that you can be rivals, you can be competitors, but you know, if a person got some good talent at what they do, you know, hey, say it, speak the truth about it. You know, it's not going to cost you nothing. But yeah, that's what I wanted to chime in on that.
He really excelled in that.
What about your favorite Sly movie?
Stop or my mom will shoot. That's it. It's okay. And I'll say Junior.
Rambo 2,
Rambo 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
without any doubt.
My favorite is Rambo 4.
Can I get psychological for a minute? You both had really tough upbringings, both of you. Almost horrific.
Here it is right here where they're going to talk about their upbringing, and their upbringing was so parallel together from their parents. All this was from their parents, you know, and their upbringing in their household, but they both view it different when it comes to who they are today and what they have accomplished. I thought that was pretty interesting.
In a way. There's this famous poem. It's called Children Learn What They Live. And a part of the poem is, if children live with criticism, they learn to condemn. If children live with hostility, they learn to fight. When you guys look at your childhood, because I'm really fascinated by it, because I had a rough childhood too, and I can relate to some of what you guys went through. When you think about your childhood, what carried forward with you to this day? Because you don't shed it. You don't forget it. It doesn't go away. So what is it in your childhood that is still part of you, good or bad?
Well, I have a lot of sadness, you know, because I think about what could have been. It didn't have to be so bad, and it was bad.
Yeah, both your parents, especially your mom, were just abusive and cruel.
I think that a lot of people go, oh, that's what made you what you are today. I think it's a lie. I think that I am who I am. If I had been encouraged and someone more supportive, I think it would have been even better. But instead, I had to try to overcome all these insecurities and doubting from the parents to overcome that and succeed. But you bring with you a lot of bittersweet feelings, and you try not to convey that onto your new family, but that's part of your makeup. I don't believe that which does not kill you makes you stronger. Usually that which doesn't kill you, it kills you, or almost comes.
Powerful. That is my sentiments at that. That's how I feel. When people give you those old cliches, oh, what don't kill you make you stronger. Oh, God won't bring you to it if he won't bring you through it. A lot of those to me are cliches. And I say that because when you walking in that, a lot of that stuff is what it is, cliche, you know, old sayings that is just not the case, you know. Like I stated before in one of my previous videos as well on how you know, people say you're not supposed to question God. I don't believe in that. I believe that's an old time cliche from our parents, grandparents. It's an old tradition that's what they say. But from my understanding, God said, bring him into remembrance. And he said, you know, so he basically telling you to, you know, bring him into remembrance of what his word says, you know. And so, and also his son questioned him when he was on that cross, when he was being crucified. He said, God, why have thou forsaken me? And God answered him. And what was his response back? He said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. So that told me then that no, that's not true, that you can't question God. If you want, you know, you got to ask for that understanding. Some people have a gift where they truly hear from God. God truly gives them, you know, discernment and words, you know. So yeah, when they pray, you know, they really hear from him. You know, everybody don't have that that gift to do that. I always pray for that gift, you know, and that gift of discernment and stuff, but and to be able to really hear God. But I know that God shows me through things when I have questions. So yeah, I just wanted to piggyback on that because those old cliches be cracking me up when people be saying them. I don't say nothing, I just say, oh, okay. But yeah.
It's close to it. And you carry scar tissue inside, and it kills me. I mean, I'm a very, really emotional person. And I think, I think that people that have had horrible upbringings, it's a terrible burden to lay on anyone. And parents should just they don't realize it because they were treated like crap. And it's a vicious cycle that goes on. So I can't just blame it on them, because when I go back and I look at my mother's upbringing, orphanages and this and that, and my father's, they had, they were angry. And they just thought that's the way I'm going to pass it on. You're not going to be happy if I'm not happy.
Your dad was angry a lot too.
Yeah, my dad was angry and
now on here, you listen to Arnold Schwarzenegger take on it. Now, both of them had issues with the dad, the parents, whatever. But watch his take on it and watch what his view is on the situation. Watch what he says.
Everyone after the Second World War over there was angry. They lost the war. The ass was handed to them by the Americans. So my father came back from the war with wounds, broken back, malaria, shrapnels in his legs and stuff like that. So he went through a lot of pain afterwards. So because of the drinking, there was violence at home. So he would come home and smack us around sometimes for reasons and sometimes for no reasons. And he would show brutality sometimes to my mother. And the reason why I never kind of think back in a negative way is, unlike Sly, I just don't have it in me to look at my father and say, son of a bitch, why did you do that? Or anything like that. I felt kind of I don't really know the pain he had and why he drank and all the stuff that was in him and all that stuff. And on top of it, I said to myself, if I would have grown up like some people do with all the love in the world, I would have never left home. I would have stayed in Austria. It's not the kind of life that would have made me happy. I always felt kind of I was a citizen of the world, not a citizen of Austria.
But you don't think you would have done that anyway?
No.
Oh,
I think that what drove me was I had such a need to create my own world. I had to get out of that misery at home.
And you're almost turning the misery into a blessing.
Yeah, so it was a blessing in a way because, so again, I disagree with Sly because my brother, Meinhard, he died. He died because his reaction was to become an alcoholic himself. One day driving with a car and then hitting a telegraph post, one of those big things, and just smashed into it and got killed. So, but that was because of that upbringing. And this is why I do believe in what does not kill you, make you stronger, because it killed my brother, but it made me stronger.
You and I had no choice. We were going to do something.
And see, right there is where he's saying basically that, and I guess it can work both ways. It all depends on the person, because you can have a family, say a family of 5 kids that grew up in a very toxic household with drug addicted parents or abusive parents, and you'll have 1 or 2 of those 5 that will go down the same road that the parents did. But then you'll have that 1 or maybe 2 that will become very successful because they knew that that's not what they wanted. That's not the lifestyle that they wanted. So they fought hard to be successful and become more proactive and productive citizens, and to have a better life. So when they had their children, that they wouldn't suffer what they did or have to go through what they did. So they would, go to every means necessary to make sure that they gave their children a better life. So I guess it's a twofold, so I can see Arnold Schwarzenegger point of view from Sylvester Stallone's. I can see the difference. I can understand now that I'm listening to it for the second time. I can kind of understand, them seeing a different view on it. So yeah, but it just goes back to, like I said, you can have the same experience, but a different take on it, a different view. So yeah, let's go back.
You escaped in the bodybuilding. I escaped the theatrics because I wasn't too happy with reality. So I said, this is my world because I don't like this one. I think that we were going to do it no matter what. It just would have been nice with a little bit more encouragement. That's all.
And the Oscar goes to Robert Downey Jr.
When Robert Downey Jr. at the Oscars said, when he received his Oscar,
I'd like to thank my terrible childhood.
I immediately could relate to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he went through trouble and pain. I don't know exactly the story, but for him to thank his upbringing means that motivated him and got him going into a different direction rather than staying in the upbringing.
I know you supported Arnold when he ran for governor.
I did.
What I'm wondering is, did you do it so you could get him out of the movie business?
Yes, actually. You read through me, did you? Oh my God.
That was funny. That was funny. He was like, yeah, I did. I wanted him out. I wanted to, like he said, it wasn't enough room at the top. So, at that time of his life, he wanted to be the only one up there. So yeah, if get on out of the acting business, dude. Yeah, what I need to help you do, so you can get on out this arena. So he said, yeah, I voted for him. Yeah, because I wanted him out of the acting field. So yeah, that's funny. That was funny. But yeah, it's just, and some people feel like that. Some people really, really feel like that no matter what you're doing. I see that even in this YouTube sector. People figure, I hear people saying, I don't necessarily say I see it, but I hear people saying it like, oh, they want to, get rid of me, and oh, they want me out the game, and they want to damage my, situation, so I won't, so they can move up, in the ranks or whatever, or gain all the followers or whatever. So I hear that term used in the YouTube sectors, but yeah, crazy.
You both have kids who grew up with a lot of privilege that you didn't have.
Yeah.
So how did you guys raise kids
Yeah.
when they can't see what you saw,
Right.
other than the fact that you're this incredibly famous, wealthy two guys, and they're looking at this, in this man?
I hate to keep stopping it, y'all, but I just wanted to give y'all viewpoints on what I, took from the interview. This is very interesting what Sylvester Stallone is going to say about having children born into privilege, and how you keep them grounded and how you teach them to not think that they're better than others. I think is very beautiful. listen to what the example that he gave to his kids.
Anshin, how do you raise kids with those values?
I tell you, I've always said that everyone's father is tougher than them. You know, it's just their life was tougher, it was harder. And then their grandpa, I mean, think about it.
Yeah, but the difference between you two and your parents
Exactly
is
is worldly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worlds apart. Well, the difference between us and our children, we really had to grovel, and it was tougher back then. Today, it's a whole different world. They're presented with so much, not just rich people, even poor kids. And I mean, there's so much technology, this and that I think it's really put a damper on people's inspiration and this ability to go out and explore for themselves. It comes right to you on a phone, all this stuff.
He's giving you advice on what to wear on Golden Globe night.
Definitely not him. Not him. He's the worst. Definitely not him. No, he's the worst. He's done better.
You can tell. I try to teach my kids, and I think he does too, is really understand that you are privileged. And I just want you to be nice. I want you to be empathetic to people. I want you to be polite and understand that you were given this gift. It just didn't come out of the ground. When you see a guy working there, pushing a broom thing, working on a roof, he doesn't want to do that. He wasn't born to say, hey, I can't wait to go tar a roof in the summer. So be empathetic to people that don't have what you have. And my girls have been just fantastic. And they've picked up our habits, and they are industrious. They imitate. My wife is incredibly industrious, so my daughters have carried on that tradition.
Our kids will not kind of create that same kind of hunger and that desire and that fire in the belly that we had because of our upbringing. So that only comes with that upbringing.
Yeah.
You know, you urge to move away, to go and explode, to get out of there because you get the beating all the time there. So that hunger, I think, would not be the case with our kids.
No.
But that does not mean that you cannot bring them up to be successful. I was very lucky that I had a wife that was really good in raising the kids. Maria was excellent in that. And so I was gone twice a year for 3 months, sometimes 6 months on a movie set. So, of course, she ended up 80% of the time, to make up a number, raising the kids. And she did an extraordinary job with their education, with their moral codes, and with all of those kind of things. My kids all had to wash their own clothes. They all had to wash their own bedwear. And every so often when I saw them cheating and someone else did it, I grabbed their mattresses and I threw it off the balcony of their bedroom. And sometimes into the, sometimes
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
And the TV.
No, but then they had to drag it up there again.
They had to
have
bring it
make
up
the bed
themselves,
again,
right.
because I detected they didn't make the bed. It was too nicely made. I just want to compliment you here for a second and just say this. One of the things that I learned over the years of what great of a family man Sly is and how he deals with his daughters and with his family and the whole thing like this. You know, when you go up to visit someone at their house and then you go to parties or to dinner or something like that, you see the dynamics and what's going on there. And I watch his reality TV show and all this stuff.
Hey, come here, Lou.
And that it's just really, he's on it and he's supportive and he's really terrific as a dad. And he's learned from what his father did that he doesn't want to do.
No.
And that's the opposite. So I think it is really terrific. And he's really terrific as a dad. And he's learned from what his father did that he doesn't want to do.
No.
And that's the opposite. So I think it is really terrific.
I'm going to run for governor.
I've always wanted to ask you this. I know you supported Arnold when he ran for governor.
I did.
What I'm wondering is, did you do it so you could get him out of the movie business?
Yes, actually. You read through me, did you? Oh my God. I thought it was so insane what he did. I said, I gotta see this. And he pulled it off. Can you believe it? It's just, it's who he is. Did you ever have a plan B?
No. As a matter of fact,
There you go.
in my book, Be Useful, I talk about don't have a plan B. There's no such thing
There you
as a
go.
plan B because
I never
it's
asked
kind
him
of
that.
like saying, I want a safety net.
Yeah.
I'm not a safety net kind of a guy. It's you yourself that is doubting you.
Yeah.
And that's the most dangerous one. Not that someone out there is doubting you,
Yeah,
but
that's
that
not-
you are doubting you. Now you're fighting yourself.
Right.
And that is an absolute no-no. This is a form.
I need to get that book so I can read that, because I'm my biggest critic. I'm my biggest critic. I'm my biggest I want to say I have confidence in a lot of things that I do, but I'm one of those people, I don't like to fail. So if I see something and if I fear, I'm gonna start something and it's gonna fail, I won't do it, because I don't like to fail. I don't like failure. So yeah, we do. We over criticize ourselves, Ash, and I'm bad at that. I am bad at that. And so you hear him talk about how he never work on plan B. He never has a plan B. He just, if he say he's going to do it, he jump in, boom, head first. I'm not that type of person. I call me a chicken cat, call me something, but I am not like that. I wish I was. It's a lot of people that's like that, but I'm not. I have to, to streak it. I have to plan out my days. I have to plan things out, because other than that, nothing would get done. I have a whole bunch of open projects and stuff. So, and which is, I'm not gonna say I don't, because I do right now. That's why I'm trying to find some balance to bring everything in so that I can accomplish everything that I'm trying to do in the orderly fashion. So yeah, but I wish I had that mindset and that technique to do that, like he said. So that's the difference, parallels between them two. One doesn't view it like that, and the other one does. But their lives had accomplished so much. Like I said, this guy ran for governor and won. So he stepped totally out of his norm, his arena, and accomplished something and was successful at it. So yeah, so very strong, two strong men. So yeah, let's go back, y'all.
Formula for disaster.
In 1987, you went to a joint that I used to have breakfast at, Patrick's Roadhouse in Pacific Palisades. And you had a secret breakfast meeting talking about Rambo versus Predator. Why didn't that happen?
I think, because we've had this happen a couple times. There was a John Hughes comedy, wasn't it? We were talking about battling neighbors because we couldn't agree on that. So at that time, it was kind of still strange.
Duke and Fluffy.
Yeah,
Something like that.
it was like that.
Duke and Fluffy? Who was Fluffy?
I was supposed to be a dog and he's supposed to be a cat. And we're supposed to, in the daytime, we are regular neighbors and that hate each other. And at night, we are animals, and then we attack each other and all that stuff.
I kind of like that.
It was a funny idea, but he went off doing a movie. So it never really happened.
What do you admire most about him?
His dedication and his passion. I wish I could be as passionate about things as he is. He's so passionate.
Is that true?
And you'll be absolutely.
Really?
Are you kidding me? When you talk about scripts, or when you talk about your characters that you play in movies, or when you talk about movies, there's just so much passion there. It's like it's really unbelievable, and it must come from somewhere, because he's a very emotional guy, which I'm not. I'm emotional, but not like him.
You're very different, the two of you.
We're very, very, very different in that way. You can tell alone just the way we are dressed, right? I mean, he has, of course,
How was that addressed?
See how even Harvey knows that they're two different individuals. They're very different, but was in the same sector. but they both brought something different to their profession, you know, and to their viewers. They brought something different to those screens. And so, but to just know and they're men, these are men being able to express how the values that they see in each other. They see value in each other. They see each other's talent for what it is, you know, even through the outside of the acting aspect of them, you know, their talents, but they're able to see the personal attributes of each other. That's awesome. That is an awesome trait for both of them, to be able to see that and verbalize it. It's okay. It's okay to see the good in your competition. It's okay, you know, because everybody brings something different. Everybody, you know, has their own way of shining their light, you know, to their viewers. And so to me, that's reciprocal, coming from two strong men, because these are two big strong men. So it's just I just, you know, this interview was really, really inspiring and really, really beautiful to me. Yeah, let's go back.
That's
Blazer,
like this. I
this
know.
jacket, I guarantee you, cost $10,000 from David August or something like that. Who knows who made it?
Hey.
Mine is like a second kind
That'll
of
come back
hand-me-down
someday. Don't worry.
leather jacket. I have old cowboy boots on, and here, look at this, the alligator loafers.
Everyone would agree, if there is a Mount Rushmore of action heroes, you have two of the four spots. I think everybody agrees with that. Who are the other two?
Oh, wow. That's a tough one.
What do you admire about him most?
I'm not even finished yet with what I admire about him. I always have painted my whole life, right, for my children. And so I painted in school, you know, the little paintings like that. Then I go and see his art and his paintings. I tell you, it is absolutely spectacular.
Oh, stop.
I do everything little.
Right.
Like this, you know, and I make fine lines and then make everything very accurate and all this. And he says, no. He says, Harold, you got to be more daring. You got to open up a little bit. So I go up to his house and he has this big paintbrush with 15 kind of different colors. And goes in there like this and he starts smacking it down on the canvas. And I said to myself, can you believe the balls this guy has? He just makes a commitment with all of this paint, and then he goes and all of a sudden in no time he creates this really colorful, unbelievable kind of modern type of a painting and stuff like that. His big paintings go like sometimes for several $100,000.
What I admire most about him is he's rock steady. He's like a season that doesn't change. It's like bang on, very organized, very calculated, very thoughtful. I'm not. And he's right, I'm very emotional, and I tend to be swayed, and things can upset logic quite often, and that's when you make mistakes, when your brain overwhelms your heart, or your heart overwhelms your brain, I should say. And that doesn't, he's, I don't know what he's thinking, see what I mean? He's like a chess player. You don't know what's going on, but he gets it done. And he really does have a big heart. He does. I mean, you wouldn't think it, because we're action guys, but we're more emotional than a lot of more dramatic actors. Trust me. Do not think for a second we're not hypersensitive, especially coming from the way where we came from. We're very, especially with criticism, it's very profound on us, very profound.
So when you get bad reviews, they hurt.
Oh, yeah. Don't just criticize. Stallone's career is more mysterious than crib death. I mean, that's how bad it gets. I mean, brutal.
Well, you got one that where they said you felt you got the worst review since Hitler.
There you go.
You said that.
Yeah, and it's true. Did I really?
Yeah, you did.
Oh my God. Oh my God. But it's true.
I remember when we did the villain with Kirk Douglas and Anne Margaret, they said to me, the horse had better facial expressions than I had. I mean, what the hell? So I pay no attention to this stuff.
There are a lot of differences with you guys, like we've talked about. The big similarity that I see is both of you have put your bodies through hell. The image that I always think of is the two of you on gurneys getting ready for shoulder surgery at the same time.
That was by accident.
But was this worth it to put your body, because I know that it causes pain. You've been in the hospital a bunch. You've had
Now, I wanted to go back and hi, Anonymity22. Thank you for stopping in, boo. Thank you, y'all, so much for coming in, showing some support. Thank you, thank you. I'm just testing myself out on how to share my screen. Hopefully, I'll get better at being able to, chop the video up to where I can get to the key points that I wanted to point out and not have to play the whole video. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And you got to, maybe you didn't see the interview and you got to hear some things yourself from what they talked about, that made some, that probably can, make some substance to your life, or even something that you can relate to as well. They said a lot that related to me. I want to say I'm more relatable to Sylvester Stallone. I'm more relatable to him. I see a lot of his views more than Arnold. I'm not a, I'm a straightforward talker. Like if I tell you something, I'm gonna be straightforward to you, especially if I care about you. I'm your friend. I'm one of those friends that's gonna tell you when you're wrong, when you're right. I won't sugarcoat it. I'm straightforward. My niece talks about me about that. She tells me my mouth has no filter. But I don't believe that it's just that I don't have no filter. I just believe in giving you to you straight up and not with ketchup on it, if I care about you. And because I look for that in return. Just give it to me straight up. You ain't got to water it down. You ain't got to, sugarcoat it, none of that. And like he said, too, the difference in taking criticism. Don't criticize me. Just give me the criticism, the critique of what, I can fix, what I can do better at. But don't criticize me. That's the difference. Hey, Miss White, thank you for coming in. Boo, I sent you some text messages, Miss White. Make sure you check them. I sent you some messages. I had to watch the playback. I came in. Yeah, Anonymity22, please catch the beginning. I stopped it quite a few times just so I can give my input and share my sentiments on the topic that they talked about, that I thought was pretty, they said some profound things. And so, yeah, I really, truly loved this interview. Just to see them, come from being rivals to friendship, especially with them being strong men, to be able to express their love and respect for each other's craft and them as an individual, to me was very, very, very uplifting, to see that, because, we all get tied up in hating our rivals, hating our competition or disliking them. But you can be rivals in your sector, but at the same time, giving props and giving respect to respecting the person's craft and respecting what they bring to it. They both brought something different, even though they were action figure actors. They both brought something different to the screen. So that's how people were able to respect both of them individually. They both were different. you know. So, but to just see them come together now in their latter years and get them to, you know, express, you know, what favorite movie of each one of them they had, and to shine light on each one of them, what they felt good about each other, you know, in their personal lives, you know, and their personal being. I think was pretty cool. And we you know, we as women, you know, we can be really hard on each other when it comes to that. We as, you know, African Americans can be very hard when it comes to that. We don't want to support and give people their flowers, remove what, you know, all the other craziness, and get a person the flowers on what they're good at, period. You know, I'm good at telling people, you know, what they're good at to me, and what, you know, I see what they bring and their talents, you know. That's just me. But not everybody is like that. But we all fall short in things. But again, I think the interview was pretty cool. So let's go back, y'all. It's almost over, y'all.
All sorts of operations. I mean, you have what, 7 back operations?
3 neck fusions, shoulders, everything.
Yeah, I had endless amount of heart surgeries, he had back surgery. I mean, we have our surgeries, have shoulder surgeries, this shoulder, you know, the knees, both knees, hip replacement, and all that kind of stuff.
I got a lot of injuries in this movie. Believe me, I was attacked by wolves. I was attacked by a vulture.
Do you ever wake up and just say, why did I do this?
I do. I got the pleasure, as Tony Robbins, the pleasure was not worth the pain. I like doing some of it, but there was a point when I should have slowed it down and used the pro.
Apollo unloading a left. He really tied him up against the rope. He put him back.
Rocky's things really wiped me out from snapping the head all the time.
Again, a hard right.
Dolph Lundgren, you told him to hit you and you ended up in the hospital for 9 days.
He almost killed me.
Yeah.
That was freakish accident. It was just freakish.
But you asked for it.
I did ask for it, but I didn't think he'd hit so hard. You know, that kind of a thing. But
Sylvester Stallone did a lot of his own stunts. So that's why he suffered a lot of injuries, because he did a lot of his own stunts. I think it's another actor that does a lot of their own stunts. I think it's, what's his name? Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise does a lot of his own stunts as well, which is one of the reasons why he gets hurt a lot as well. I want to say Bruce Willis did a lot of his stunts too, but I know definitely Tom Cruise did a lot of his own stunts. So they didn't use a stunt double a lot in his movies that he did. But yeah, because he mostly did a lot of his own stunt. So they got a lot of injuries from that. Hey, I'm Chosen. Thank you for coming in, sis. Thank you for coming in. Okay, y'all, let's go back. It's almost over. But y'all can go check this interview out as well. It aired on Fox TV, and I think it's on Hulu and a couple of more streaming apps. It came on a couple of days ago. I want to say maybe about 2 or 3 days ago. Like I said, it was a pretty interesting interview. I really loved it. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for playing this video, but we shall see. Let's see.
yeah, I think I talk to my wife every day about it. So absolutely not worth it in the sense that you don't know when to quit. I should have stopped right before the first Expendables. That's what did me in. I never was whole from that point on.
So it's always easy to go and say, okay, now I'm 76 years old or 77, and I should have not done this, done that, because that's what hurt me. What does it matter? The bottom line is we had a great time what we did. We love to take risks.
But you couldn't have stunt doubles because you were so big. So you did a lot of your own stuff.
Yeah, I did. There was no choice really, because when I was in Spain and there was no stunt guy around that looked like me.
But it's all flipped now that you have stunt guys who are big like you were. But now the action heroes are small.
I know.
I mean, Timothy Chalamet, Mark Ruffalo, Austin Butler.
I know.
Everyone would agree if there is a Mount Rushmore of action heroes, you have 2 of the 4 spots. I think everybody agrees with that. Who are the other 2?
Oh, wow. That's a tough one.
I would put Clint on it. Clint Eastwood was always my hero, my inspiration. He was one of those guys, just like Reg Park in bodybuilding, that spent time with me and talked to me. The 4th guy you have to come up with. I think I already came up with.
I think it goes to Bruce. He's a very multifaceted guy. He can do drama and comedy, whatever, and all the same. But he was in quite a few seminal action films that really, like Die Hard's a classic, and those things don't go away.
I'm a friend of Sarah Connor.
Can't see her. She's making a statement.
I'll be back.
What's Arnold's legacy?
Well, being the all-time triple threat. He came, he saw, he conquered. That's it. Really simple.
Man, so powerful. You see how they even gave their brother Bruce Willis props. You know, they didn't leave him out. He's another one. He's another amazing actor that was in that sector of action figure. But like he said, he was able to conquer several different genres, whether it was comedy, love stories, or, action. He was able to conquer it all. And God blessings to blessing and health to Bruce Willis. Such an awesome actor that's going to be really, really missed in this sector. But, he's healing. I'm hoping he's doing well. I pray for him and his family as well. Again, that's why we can't take life for granted, y'all. You can see somebody up today and down tomorrow, man. I'm a living witness. Spread more love, people. Spread more love. That's all I can say. But we almost at the end, y'all. We almost at the end.
It's not original, but it's true.
What's his legacy?
Someone that did some of the most extraordinary movies.
Nothing is over! Nothing! You just don't turn it off!
And inspired endless amount of people to get into the movie business and to be writers and directors and actors.
Yeah.
He has that shirt maker makes a shirt that has it pulled underneath like diapers and then pulled up on the other end.
I have to tell you guys, you kind of changed my life. Because both of you are so inspirational when it comes to risk taking. And you, the idea that you so believed in what you were doing that you were willing not to sell Rocky if it wasn't on your terms, and you stuck by that. And just all the things you did that seemed so improbable that you came to the United States with $20. And I knew about this early on in my career, and it inspired me, and it made me work harder, and it made me determined. And this is such an honor, and I mean that. And I thank you so much for sitting with me and talking. It means the world to me.
Well, thank you. That's very nice.
Thank you. I bet you any money Harvey is not ready for this interview.
He's not ready?
No. I guarantee
I'm tired
you
of
he
working
did
with
not prep.
amateurs.
Hey, you guys did a good job.
Oh, thank you. We're going to exchange pacemakers. That'd be great.
That was pretty much the interview, guys. Hold on, let me stop sharing the screen. So that was pretty much the gist of the interview. Like I said, you guys can catch it, the whole interview on Fox, or it's, I think it's streaming on Hulu. And I forgot the other streaming app that they said, but yeah, like I said, I love the interview. It was very inspiring. It was just so good and refreshing to see two men in the same sector of their careers, to be able to give homage and kudos and flowers to each other while they're still here. Yeah, I just thought it was amazing. Yes, Miss White, catch the replay. Because I kept stopping, giving my commentary on my thoughts and my views on it, and just how I just, man, it just gave me more respect for both of them. I liked both of them as an actor. I think I was more gained towards Sylvester Stallone, though. But it gave me a better view on both of them, and it kind of gave me a different look on Arnold Schwarzenegger, because I had kind of lost respect for him as a person and as an actor, because he, well, I won't say as an actor, because you can't take that away, his films, but him as a person, because of what he had done to his wife when he, was sleeping with that in-house homemaker, and had that child by her, and seeing his wife and the mistress pregnant at the same time, to have that right up under her nose and not even notice it until the baby came, and the baby got a little older, and she saw the resemblance in the little boy and her husband. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how that would cut? And then the maid, I think she was married as well. And when the husband found out about that wasn't his child, he divorced her. Eventually she quit, being the maid for them. But just the whole gist of it, that the audacity, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you can't trust everybody in your house, you didn't trust everybody around your significant other, you just can't. And I'm not going to put all the blame on her, sure. He was famous. He was nice looking, so sure, ain't no telling what he was telling her. But from what I gathered from the whole interview, is just the honor that they gave each other, their different views on them experiencing the same tumultuous upbringing from their parents, and just seeing their different view on it. They both had a different take on coming out of that, and becoming the people that they are today. They both had a different view on it, which I guess, is, kind of life, where you can experience the same thing from a person, you're going to take it and view it different than the other person. So you can't expect everybody to see it the way you see it, through your lens. That's the difference. Your heart and your lens is gonna perceive it different, and so we can't expect everybody to see it that way, or to take it the same. That's the same way I always say when when I would, get in in a state or uproar about why a person doesn't do things that's, a certain way or say a certain way or act a certain way, because I base it on me and how I am and what I give out, that I don't always receive back. And I have to always remind myself what my daughter would tell me, Mama, everybody is not you. Everybody is not going to think like you. So stop it, so I have to always remind myself of that, because I get stuck in that to where I think people are going to treat you the way you treat them. And that's not always the case. It's sad that it doesn't work that way, but at the same time, I'm not going to change who I am, because I feel that's one of my good attributes of myself, that I treat people the way I want to be treated. So I won't never change that. The only way you would get a change from me if you cross me, if you take advantage of that part of me, because to me, that's a good trait to have. So because you have people walking around in this world that don't care about your feelings, you, your mama, your kids, and nothing. They don't care. It's all about them. So they don't care how you feel, how they come off to a person, and how they're viewed. They don't care, because it's all about them. If they're benefiting or they're reaping, or things are going well for them to be that so nasty and gutter or whatever, they're okay with that. So they're not going to view it no different. So, but you have to have more respect for yourself and build your seat in heaven, because I just don't want to go through life mistreating people and just misusing people and taking advantage of people. That's just not my makeup. But it was just an honor just to see that interview. Y'all please go catch it and see what you take from it. But that's what I took from it. It was nice and refreshing to just see two men giving each other their flowers while they're still on this side of the grass. And just to let them know, no, it wasn't that really big of a rival. It wasn't that big of a deal. I was just doing it because of this, and, we knew that sector was small. So it wasn't enough room for too many at the top. So, but yeah, they knew that they both had to do what they had to do to make a name for themselves, to, create wealth and a path for themselves and their children and their, their life. So, they had to do what they had to do. But at the same time, I think all the while, even though they were rivals, they still had respect for each other no matter what. But that was my take on it, guys. Again, I wanted to share that interview because it was cute and pretty unique to me. So I wanted to use it as my first time sharing my screen. Hey, y'all, I got it. I know how to do it now, so I can share my screen. Eventually, I'm going to be able to do other little things. I'm going to learn how to maybe chop it up to where I won't have to play the whole thing. Just kind of, pull out the highlights of it. Yes, I'm chosen. Please, y'all. I thank y'all for y'all support. The few that was that came by, stopped by. I know Ashley D. She did a drive by. She stopped by because I know she was live a little while. I didn't want to step on her toes, but I've been pushing this live back for some days. Not only just because other content creators were live, but also because things were just happening in my life that I had to keep pushing it back. So I wanted to just get it on out the way. And, so I'll know, that, I got it. Thanks to Amber for, giving me that, the information on how to do it. Thank you. Because I've been really struggling on how to figure it out. I've been trying, y'all, I tell you, but it just wasn't working. So, but I'll get it together, guys. I'm gonna be able to figure it out and do better, be able to bring you guys more content and more topics, because there's a lot of other stuff that I would love to touch on. But I thank you. I thank you guys for just coming in. Please hit the like button. You said Miss Mel is in here? I didn't see Miss Mel. I'm sorry if I missed you. I didn't see Miss Mel in here. But if I did miss her, thanks for coming in. But yeah, guys, that's basically what I came on for. I know it's some other content creators that's going live. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. I got some other things I got to do. I have something to do in a little bit, so I have to get myself situated. I know it takes time, Miss White, but look, guess what? It all depends on your brain, okay? And your time that you can, put into it to get it. Of course, my time is very limited because of you guys, you and I'm Chosen, y'all are doing it big. I am so proud of you guys. You guys are really rocking. You got the gift of everything on your own, and that is commendable. Very. You guys are rock. Your sisters are rocking, and I know that you're gonna go far, 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 far. But yeah, I'm taking notes. So I'm gonna get there eventually. Like I said, that's why I don't too much, promote the channel or hop on everything. I lost a lot of subscribers because of whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know if it's from who I support or what I might have said on one of my lives, but I lost a lot of supporters, but it's okay. I'll gain them back eventually. They wasn't really my support anyway, if they was able to unsubscribe. But I don't too much trip about it because I know I'm not really bringing enough to, keep the attention and, that's interesting to anyone. So, yeah, you can't please everybody, Miss White, that's for sure. But, it's okay. I'm a tough cookie when it comes to that. I don't let that type of stuff bother me. Like I say, I'm emotional. I'm like Sylvester Stallone. I'm tough on the outside, but I'm a little mushy on the inside. I say myself as a heart body. I can take a lot, but sometimes I break. And but I don't let that type of stuff get to me. I'm more on the other side. Like I say, I'm not good at death. I'm not good at losing loved ones, friends, anybody close to me. I'm very, very mushy when it comes to that. And it's very hard for me to go through it and to get to the other side. So that part of me, y'all might catch me on many a times that I'm good today and I might not be good tomorrow because something might trigger it. Something might come up, so that part of me y'all might get, but for the most part, me losing subscribers and all that stuff, I'm not worried about that. I don't really care. It is what it is. If it take me a year to get my channel up and going and get the people to support, I'm good with that. I'm okay with that. I already made one step, and that was creating the channel, and I hit that live button, and you guys were able to hear my voice and my opinions on things, and I'm appreciated. I'm appreciative of that. So, and you guys are appreciated, even for your time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't take it for granted over here at Andrea's Perspective. I appreciate all my supporters. I value you guys' time. I value you. So do not take it for, I don't take it for granted. Do know that I do appreciate you because you don't have to. You could be anywhere else on any other lives, sector, whatever, giving your time. I appreciate you stopping by little old me. I do. Hi, Miss Love. Thank you for stopping by, showing some love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, Miss White, slow, steady with substance. Yep. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to find balance to balance this YouTube thing because it's something I want to do. Because if y'all haven't noticed yet, I love to talk. I am a talker. So I want to, kind of, get better at it. I'm just trying to balance it in my already hectic life. But I'm going to get it eventually. I am going to get it. So I just thank y'all for just showing love and being patient with me to get there. So I thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to jump off of here. Thanks everyone that's just coming in, but just hit the replay. Thank you. And please hit the like button, y'all. Please. That shows, your support and your love. And I appreciate that. And I'm gonna get off of here so I can get out of here. I got some things to do, some business to take care of to finish up. But yeah, thank you guys. And I love you. Mwah.